CTV News at 5 with Tony Ryma and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. Thanks for being with us on this Monday, February 2nd. It was a deadly weekend on a northern highway. 3 people were killed Saturday in a head-on collision west of Hearst. Provincial police say a commercial motor vehicle and a passenger vehicle collided on Highway 11 near Highway 631. A 57-year-old man from Constance Lake near Hearst was killed along with a man and a woman from Northwestern Ontario. If anyone witnessed the crash or has dash cam footage, contact the OPP. 2 people were injured after a single vehicle collision on the Kingsway in Sudbury. Provincial police say the crash happened early this morning, forcing the closure of the road between Moonlight and 2nd Avenue. One person was taken to hospital with life-threatening injuries, while another had serious injuries. OPP reopened the road around 9:30 a.m. Now to the weather, and temperatures are not bad out there for early February, but will they hold for the rest of the week? For more details on that, let's bring in CTV's Rick Wyman.
Well, Tony, it's all up to the Groundhogs. It's Groundhog Day. We'll have the results coming up a little bit later on. Didn't see my shadow this morning, Tony. Just wondering if you did. Your Systems Map brought to you by CAA. Get your membership today at caa.ca. We got some precipitation moving in. Light flurries, no serious snow, so to speak, so we'll run down some of those numbers. Just a few centimeters for tomorrow in some areas, anywhere from 2 to 4. Temperature's not bad. It will cool off by the end of the week, so get ready for that. Also, a little bit of snow by Thursday in some areas. Tony, back to you.
Thanks for that, Rick. Nurses are being called out of Kashechewan, and arrangements are underway to evacuate the remaining members of the remote First Nation community as soon as possible. We get the latest update now from CTV's Lydia Chubak.
The drinking water and sewage crisis in Kashechewan prevails. When sewage had backed up into the community's health services building, healthcare workers did the best they could and relocated to work out of the community school. Leadership now says nurses are being called out and paramedics will follow.
I think the reason is just the recent discovery of cryptosporidium in the water plant and also in the distribution system and also in the sinks. So I kind of started the process of the nurses leaving as the water wasn't safe for them to operate in. So I think FNEB and Health Canada made the call to pull out their nurses now.
Wesley says 370 community members, including 32 families, will have to evacuate this week as soon as possible.
People that are there have to leave now because there are no facilities for health care.
Wesley calls this news devastating as it hampers people's expectations about when they can go back home.
I just finished a call with our engineers and we're still figuring out the timeline of when the repairs will be made and everything else that needs to be done, like flushing the distribution center and also flushing individual houses. So there is still a long way to go, and right now there's no time frame.
Wesley says no one in Canada should be getting sick from their drinking water. With 67 reported cases of cryptosporidium, Wesley suggests that number is low and suggests there are many more.
A shame on Canada and a shame on the governments, both Ontario and Canada, to keep letting this happen in First Nations communities.
In a statement to CTV News, Public Safety Canada says it's keeping in close contact with Indigenous Services Canada and that Minister of Indigenous Services of Canada, Mandy Galmasti, is in direct contact with Kashechewan Chief Wesley about their immediate priorities to protect community members. However, Galmasti has yet to visit the community in person, despite invitations being extended to her. The community wants the federal and provincial governments to make good on their promise to relocate the community, because when the infrastructure eventually gets repaired, residents will be faced with having to evacuate again during spring flooding. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Timmins.
And in an email to CTV News, Indigenous Services Canada says the nurse's departure is dependent on flight availability, and it's working with other healthcare authorities to ensure alternative access to health services for those who remain in Kashechewan. Students at Laurentian University gathered for a rally today in support of the Faculty Association, which enters its 3rd week on strike. Students gathered at Founders Square, making their way into the Parker building in hopes of having the administration hear their voices. They then marched to the picket line where they joined faculty. Those who attended say they hope this puts pressure to get both sides back to the table.
It's rough. It's really rough starting a semester, only getting 2 weeks in. There's not a whole lot I can work on or do on my own. And I wouldn't have it any other way, though, because I know that this is important to the profs, the faculty as a whole, and therefore it's important to us. We can't learn properly if they can't work properly.
Meantime, the university provided a statement to CTV which says, in part, our priority is to get students back to class as soon as possible. We value our faculty and want to negotiate a fair contract that is within our financial reality. At this point, no new dates have been set for bargaining. Meanwhile, the strike has been averted at Nipissing University in North Bay after the school reached a new agreement with its part-time faculty. The tentative deal was reached late Friday evening. The news comes after the union had taken formal steps toward job action earlier in the week. An agreement means classes will continue without disruption. Details of the tentative contract have not been released, and the union's membership and the university's Board of Governors have to ratify it. Hydro One is holding a community open house in Timmins today about its new proposed power line. Officials plan to discuss refinements to the route for the proposed Wawa-Timmins power line. Once built, they say the line will support the rapid increase in electricity demand and improve overall reliability across the north. The open house is at the Royal Canadian Legion Branch 287 in South Porcupine and wraps up at 7 this evening. Hydro One officials will be on site to answer any questions.
We come to seek feedback and engage with the communities, Indigenous communities along the line, so that we can really understand from the individuals in the area the interest that they have and the information they can provide to us on the project. We take that information, we make route refinements in this case, and we bring them back again to the table to have the similar conversation. Hydro One staff will be there available to talk to people. We'll have maps on the table and really just looking to have a very casual and informative discussion where we can seek that feedback in person.
Public meetings are also happening this week in Folliet, Chapleau and Wawa. Hydro One plans to start construction on the new power line in 2028 and expects it to be in service by the end of 2030. It's time for a quick break. Coming up on CTV News at 5, Rick has your full weather forecast. But first, we're heading live to North Bay and Lake Nipissing. This webcam is courtesy of that city. It's -8 degrees. We're back in a few minutes.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Well, we called it on Friday, a warmer trend heading into the weekend. That happened on Saturday afternoon, and even yesterday, some nice temperatures and nice conditions. All kinds of sunshine. That's changing, though. We've got some flurries in the forecast, courtesy of Environment Canada. Our forecast radar, you could see relatively light precipitation, anywhere from 2 to 4 centimeters. And of course, no serious concerns. You don't need a shovel. You can use a broom. How about that? Sudbury Nickel Belt, chance of flurries tomorrow -10, cloud cover Wednesday. Thursday, chance of flurries -11. Periods of snow on Friday -13 and -16 chance of flurries come Saturday. Temperatures for this time of the year, I like them. Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, wind chill tomorrow morning when you wake up. -26, daytime high of -11, -7 cloud cover Wednesday. Thursday, chance of flurries -6. Chance of flurries once again -11 on Friday, and some sun and cloud. Nice day Saturday at -11. How about Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing? Okay, we've got some snow in the forecast, periods of snow. Wind chill -24 when you wake up, -13 your daytime high. Chance of flurries Wednesday, Thursday, 30% tomorrow, 60% on Thursday. Friday, some sun, some cloud, -19 on the cool down. And again, another -19 day comes Saturday, but loads of sunshine in Timmins, Cochrane, and Kapuskasing. Moving on over to Temiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake, a similar forecast. Wind chill -24 tomorrow when you wake up. We also have some light snow. Wednesday, chance of flurries -11, -12 Thursday, chance of flurries 60%. That's a pretty good bet. get on FanDuel right now and make a bet on that one, because it looks like we're going to get some snow there. Friday, some cloud cover, -15, -17 Saturday with loads of sunshine. I don't really actively encourage betting, but you know the drill. People still do it. North Bay, West Nipissing. Wind chill for tomorrow morning when you wake up, -16, not too bad. High of -6, sun and cloud Wednesday, -9. Chance of flurries on Thursday, -10. Periods of snow Friday, -11, and -16 come Saturday with loads of sunshine. Certainly hope you enjoyed your weekend. This week, well, maybe not as pleasant as last week, but the weather should be good temperature-wise, and a little bit of snow. Tony, how about the Groundhog report, as we like to call it? What have you got for me?
Thanks for that, Rick. Well, across North America, groundhogs were crawling out into the cold, predicting the weather on this Monday.
As town criers for Willie, we're proud to proclaim, no shadow he spotted, no sunshine he claimed. So once again, the crier's bell did ring. Yes, Willie predicts, now hear this, it's an early spring!
Ontario's Wyerton Willie is predicting warm weather ahead. The mayor and town criers say the rodent did not see his shadow. Sadly, Nova Scotia canceled the event for Shubin and Acadie Sam because of the weather. According to folklore, that means an early end to winter. And in Quebec, Fred La Marmotte made a sunny prediction, forecasting an early spring. The groundhog did not see his shadow this morning.
It is my job this February 2 to look to the skies and report back to you that there is a shadow here on my ground. 6 more weeks of winter abound.
And in Pennsylvania, Punxsutawney Phil saw his shadow, the iconic groundhog, predicting 6 more weeks of winter. In other news, the hospital in Timmins Shores opened its new mammography suite this morning to screen and test people for breast cancer. But the hospital has also bought 2 new pieces of equipment to test patients more reliably and quicker to help catch breast cancer earlier. CTV's Eric Tashner was there.
Screening for breast cancer has never been quicker or easier at the Timiskaming Hospital, with a new state-of-the-art mammography machine in its breast cancer suite.
This one also does 3D, so it does a 50-degree, 25 each direction, and it does that in 5 seconds. It takes 1 millimeter slices of the breast.
Thanks to tremendous community support through hundreds of donors, the hospital was able to raise $450,000 by last October during Breast Cancer Awareness Month to purchase the new mammography unit.
And then on top of that, at the end of the program, Alamos Gold came on with another $48,000 to buy a biopsy unit.
We all come from women. We all want to protect the women, our mothers, our daughters, our wives, our sisters.
This takes samples.
The new biopsy unit will give specialists instant results. In 2025, the hospital completed more than 1,600 informative breast screenings and then another 540 investigative screenings.
Both those numbers increased by almost 15% from the previous year, so it's growing. That's in part because the government has now allowed the age limit to drop from 50 to 40. 200 of those screenings were for women between 40 and 49 years old.
The Timiskaming Hospital is recognized as an approved breast screening satellite site. The new equipment means some patients won't have to travel to Sudbury or Timmins for procedures.
If these machines can detect something at an early stage, we might even be able to save a life.
Our technologists are noticing that they're getting better images, that they're able to get more breast tissue, and being able to soon do contrast mammos. That's just another tool they have in their toolbox
to offer hope and caring along the way for patients who need it. Eric Tashner, CTV News, Timiskaming Shores.
Remembering a Greater Sudbury student coming up on CTV News at 5. Now in her memory, a fundraiser in support of Northern Ontario families of children with cancer. Today, the French Catholic high school, École Secondaire Catholique L'Horizon in Greater Sudbury, honored a grade 10 student who passed away last summer. CTV's Madison Merrier has more.
Zoe Tapany passed away on June 12, 2025 after a battle with cancer. Her family, teachers, and friends decided to honor her memory by initiating a fundraiser for Northern Ontario families of children with cancer.
She would just be like, this is what I wanted. Like, she would have wanted people in our family and her family and the school and the community and the students of the school to help the other communities that were in need, just like her and her family in the hard times.
We saw what her struggles were, what the family's struggles were, and knowing that they wanted to give back to NOFCC, which is Northern Ontario Families of Children with Cancer, it was just natural for us to say, yes, we want to give back since they helped you so much.
The school is starting off by selling merch in Zoe's honor. Then, at the end of March, they'll kickstart different fundraisers with local community partners that they hope to repeat year after year.
Pour ma soeur, une des seules choses qu'elle fait manger sans être malade, c'était la crème glacée.
Zoe really loved ice cream. Stephanie said that, near the end, the only thing that she was able to eat was an Oreo Blizzard with extra Oreo. So we wanted to honor her by selling ice cream.
Ledo says many local businesses and organizations have agreed to help them in their mission to raise money for families in similar situations as Zoe. Among those is the Valley East Lions Club.
All year long, we've been planning to donate to NOFCC, and when we heard about what was happening here at L'Horizon and with Zoe Tapany's foundation, we wanted to commit our next Porchetta Bingo. We wanted to commit all the funds we raised from that to donate to Zoe's campaign and to donate to the NOFCC.
Some fundraising in Zoe's honor has already begun, with Dance Evolution raising just over $2,100 in 2 hours at the Glow for Zoe Dance last July. Madison Marier, CTV News, Val Karen.
Serving up a new program in Sudbury when we return free cooking classes for deaf seniors. You're watching First at 5.
Well, it's Josh and Coop from Pure Country Mornings in Sudbury, and first and foremost, we've got some business to take care of. We've had a little contest running for the last month called Fuel Your Fridays. It's been powered by our friends at CAA, where we give away $100 in gas gift cards every week. And congratulations to Patty, our latest winner. If you want to see more opportunities to win different prizes, you can always check out our website, purecountry917.ca.
Did you catch it last night, Coop? It was one of the biggest nights in the music industry. The Grammy Awards aired just last night, and this was across all genres. We saw big performances. We saw lots of awards being handed out. We saw all kinds of very memorable speeches and looks and outfits and everything to go along with it. It was a huge night for the music industry. Tons of highlights to cover. We can only rhyme off a few in the short time that we have, including even Post Malone. He led an all-star tribute to Ozzy Osbourne last night. Maybe if you caught that. If you didn't, check it out on social media and beyond. Did an awesome job with it. Bad Bunny winning Album of the Year, one of the biggest awards of the evening.
Yep, Billie Eilish winning Song of the Year for Wildflower. Record of the Year went to Kendrick Lamar for Luther, and also Best Contemporary Country Album, Beautifully Broken by Jelly Roll, who we play quite a bit of on Pure Country.
Yeah, this was one of those pretty interesting categories where country music got separated to, well, contemporary album, but also traditional country album. Zach Top winning Best Traditional Country Album with Ain't In It For My Health.
And you know, people are loving Zach Top because he's a young guy, he's in his 20s, but they say he sounds like an Alan Jackson. You've got to listen to him when you have an opportunity.
Yep, we play him right here on Pure Country, and we're always chatting about the latest in Hollywood pop culture and country music. You can catch that segment and more by listening to Pure Country 91.7 on the dial or on the completely free iHeartRadio app.
Our first community close-up comes to us from Sudbury. A viewer sent us this picture of a barred owl. They say the bird is so beautiful. Thanks for thinking of us. We're now off to North Bay, and Gail says these deer, right here, yeah, these deer, are stealing seeds from her bird feeder. Thanks so much for sending in this photograph, Gail. And we're heading to South Porcupine. Lori Levitt sent us this picture of her grand dog, Lucy. She says the pup loves her toys, but the dog loves sleeping even more. Thanks so much, Lori. And if you have any pictures, videos, or events you'd like us to showcase, you can email them to us at communitycloseup@bellmedia.ca. And there is something new on the menu for seniors at the Bob Rumball Centre for the Deaf in Sudbury. A charity grant has helped launch free monthly cooking classes that are proving to be a recipe for success. Here's CTV's Amanda Hicks.
They say food is the universal language. At the Bob Rumball Centre for the Deaf, that's being proven one dish at a time.
I love to cook, so I've enjoyed so many things. It's great to have a new experience, and also, you know, like we support each other, so I might be, you know, used to cooking, but we all learn from each other.
This month, the centre, in partnership with the Northern Ontario Association for the Deaf, launched a new free cooking series for seniors.
There's people who have traveled an hour and a half to get here and be part of this very unique opportunity for learning something, but also the fellowship part of being with their friends and what they call their family here.
It was made possible after the Sudbury Community Foundation selected the centre for its community granting cycle.
Last year we were able to support 15 different funding projects, this project being one, and we're thrilled to be here today to see it in action as well, to see all of the participants working together, you know, kind of just communicating with each other.
The grant provided us with much needed equipment, so we bought rotisseries and all the necessities to run a kitchen because there was no utensils, there was nothing. So we started from scratch and we were able to build our kitchen to where it was functioning.
While the turnout has been strong, the goal goes beyond the plate. For many deaf seniors, isolation is a daily reality.
Mental health has gotten better, people's mood have changed, people feel less isolated because they can come here and have a space to hang out and socialize and do things. So it's just amazing to see what getting involved in your community with a group of people can do.
Moving forward, these classes will be held here once a month. And officials say there's more on the menu with themed cooking sessions already in the works. Amanda Hicks, CTV News, Sudbury.
And there's more news for the North coming up at 6. For now, continue watching as we hand things over to CTV National News.